Welcome to the second episode of our podcast on academia and wellness. In part one, we understood the basics of wellness, the aspects of wellness that encompasses today's youth, the Gen Z generation. Now, over to a deep dive into the specific pillars of wellness that need to be incorporated into modern education. All of us agreed that we are dealing with a hyperactive generation.
Yes.
This is okay. We are going off script, but again, one of the buzzwords that has come up today is ADHD.
Yes.
Right? Is the youth of today energetic, or do they have an attention deficit? What is the core problem here?
So the core problem exists in the kind of food they're eating.
Right.
So basically they're eating food that gives them more hyperactivity. Already there are so many things happening around.
Right.
So this ADHD is a kind of a disease itself, I would call, where a student cannot sit for 2 minutes.
Okay.
They have to keep moving and their focus is just for a fraction of a second.
This should not be confused with multitasking?
Exactly.
Okay.
Multitasking is you finish a task and you are capable of performing it to 100% and move to the next task.
Right.
Here they take 10 tasks and they do not finish anything. Their attention span is very less.
Right. Understood. So a good start is mindfulness.
Exactly.
Mindfulness, focusing on breathing and several other aspects that Sankalp has
And non-doing is when they sit quiet is when they will understand that what they have been doing the whole day. You just ask like few students, they can't even sit for a second. They just have to either be moving their hands, legs, either they have to keep moving. They cannot sit quiet.
Right. Interesting. Please go on, ma'am. Before, I am guessing spirituality is the next aspect.
That's the emotional wellness is the next aspect.
Okay.
So many times what happens is in the emotional wellness concept, people are not aware of their emotions at all. So emotions are to be expressed. And in our Indian community, we have been taught emotions to be suppressed.
Correct.
So that everybody around you will be happy. So whether it is happiness, also they cannot express. Whether it is sadness, anger, they will express very well.
Right. I think that's a natural reaction.
Yes,
right?
That's a natural reaction. But they have to know that what is that emotion which is there inside and they need to express it in the right way. And that's something which we will help them identify in the emotional wellness concept, where they'll be mindful of their emotions.
Essentially, what am I feeling right now?
Exactly. When they wake up in the morning, how they are feeling, and even in between, we will be giving them pauses to understand how the day has been going and what is causing their stress or what is that aspect which they need to work on.
And would you also believe that it is okay to not be happy all the time?
Exactly. That is because there is something which is missing. Either there might be some deficiency, or they might be not hydrated well, or they're not eating healthy, or there is some emotional concept which has been masked. So we will give them a clear picture of understanding why there is no happiness. Okay. So when you have asked me this question, I would like to go on board a little more.
Sure.
So in the yoga concept, there is something called as koshas. The first kosha is called as the Annamaya kosha, which is dependent on food, water and exercise. And that is the whole concept of this wellness thing which I have created.
Right.
The second concept is called as Pranamaya kosha, which is dependent upon the breathing, or it is the prana which keeps moving. It's the vital life force.
Right.
So we are focusing that, and that depends upon the mental wellness. There is something called as Manomaya kosha, which is the emotional quotient.
Right.
That again is directly intact with the emotional wellness concept. So Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, that is the intuitive one.
Right.
And the fifth kosha is the Anandamaya kosha, that is the happiness element. So we are going to tackle Annamaya, Pranamaya and Manomaya kosha, and then the Vijnanamaya kosha, which will naturally help them to become happy. So happiness is a state of mind. Whatever is there, whatever is not there, it is not dependent on a situation. So this is something which we would like to educate the kids, that happiness is something which you should live for.
Absolutely. And when you mentioned these koshas, one thing that suddenly came up, This seems to be closely linked to hormone behavior. There is a happiness hormone, there's a stress hormone.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, the whole system, God has made it so beautifully. All your hormone systems are related with certain koshas and certain chakras.
Right.
So blockages in certain, even they will be having a chakra analysis class in which they will understand why certain things in their life are like this. So which there are 7 chakras in our body. Right. We will be giving them a detailed workshop on that to understand which chakra is blocked and why certain things in their life is like this and where they need to work on. So we are basically giving them a whole picture of what the things in their life are going wrong, whether it is at a physical level, mental level or an emotional level, and how to get connected at a spiritual level to work to their optimum level. That's the whole goal.
Now that you have mentioned spirituality, people often confuse spirituality with religious beliefs.
Exactly. There is 2 different concepts. Religious things are to keep you in a boundary. It is like certain pujas you do or going to a temple. It is basically the boundary created by the society to be in that particular zone.
Right.
Whereas spirituality is non-boundaryless. It is completely, it has such a wide aspect and an angle. Basically, there are only 7 dimensions for spirituality. The first one is not hurting anybody with your words, action or deeds, which they are going to practice from day one.
Right, right. Interesting that you are able to differentiate religion and spirituality, because I think half the world is confused about this.
Exactly. That is a very clear picture which the students will have, what is being religious and what is being spiritual.
Spirituality is more intrinsic and individualistic?
Exactly.
Okay. Rather than following a bunch of people who believe that A religion follows this set of rules, B religion follows these rules. But spirituality is more internalized. It is me as an individual.
It is only about you.
Right.
So the inner you is happy, then the surrounding you is definitely happy. So being spiritual is just keeping yourself happy, and when you are happy, naturally your surroundings also will get you into a happiness mode.
Right. Next pillar.
So the emotional quotient will cover a lot of things and help them to understand that we have come to this world to be happy.
Right.
So the physical aspect, mental and emotional aspect is covered. The spiritual aspect is to teach them what is spirituality, as the question arose from you, and giving complete differentiation between what is not being spiritual and what is being spiritual.
Right.
And in this concept, they will be having lot of workshop in which lot of trauma bonds will be broken, and then there will be a lot of inner child work. Right. Because many people will be carrying certain traumas in their childhood, and that actually converts into a disease or into a kind of self-restriction in their mind to move forward in life. So they will be having inner child workshops, and this all we will be working towards spiritual wellness.
Ultimately, these students are going to leave BNMIT and go into a very turbulent, challenging world.
Correct.
Preparing them to be socially well is a priority for you?
Of course, of course. What we see, especially after COVID, is they don't like to mix with people. Right?
Exactly.
They have become more individualistic. They don't like to collaborate. The concept of teamwork is kind of vanishing.
Right.
So there is definitely lack of social skills, I would say, in this generation. That is exactly why we do a concept called Opel in our place close to Bangalore, where we don't give them mobile phones for 7 days.
Okay.
And end of the 7 days, the students actually loved without a mobile.
Wow.
So how do we do that? It's only based on activities, engaging them with mindful games, encouraging teamwork, group games, group activities, bonfire, singing together, cultural programs. I mean, it is transformational, I would say,
Right.
these 7 days. So it is possible, but it is up to us, we the faculty, we the management, to give or provide to the students what they truly want. They
Right.
might, at the face of it, nobody wants to stay away from the phone.
Correct.
But when we show them a life away from the phone, they truly, truly love it. So how many of us here would take such steps, put such efforts,
Right.
and show them there is another world which exists without phones, gadgets, electronic medias, or anything like that?
Right.
So it's a very transformational journey, I would say, and students absolutely love that program that we do here at BNMIT. So yes, students need to be social going forward, and through this program we also tell them the importance of teamwork, collaborative work, and how to exchange pleasantries, how to talk to people who are elder to them,
Right.
or who are subordinate to them. Right? These are critical communication skills which will truly help the students to be great leaders of tomorrow, and that is what we want to build out of this current set of students at BNMIT.
Again, one question that has cropped up from your answer. BNMIT supports and encourages entrepreneurship.
Yes.
How does entrepreneurship fit into social? Because by definition, if I'm an entrepreneur, I'm doing things on my own.
Correct.
I have a vision. I am
Yes.
taking step by step, 1, 2, 3, 4 to reach that vision.
Yes.
How am I expected to be social while I'm doing it?
See, everything entrepreneur begins within you. It starts within you,
Right.
right? You have to be super motivated, right? And the other critical thing is you have to have a very high risk taking ability or a risk appetite, I would say. So this generation, right, have got everything easily. So
Okay.
the question of risk is again questionable in this current set of students. So when we tell them the importance, but everybody wants money, right? They love the unicorns, they love the valuation, they love investments coming in, right? That is the attractive part. But in spite of knowing that, how many are becoming entrepreneurs?
Correct.
Again, very less numbers, right? So how do we change that? So build confidence.
Right.
Show them that they are capable of doing things. Do small tasks perfectly,
Right.
the right way. It builds confidence. And once you boost that confidence, your morale, your risk-taking ability gradually increases. And that is how. And the technical abilities are already strong, I would say. And it is available. But only the ability to take up that challenge is the missing link.
Right. And with adequate social skills,
Yes.
entrepreneurs can make it big.
Definitely. See, end of the day, entrepreneurs are solving a social problem or a societal
Correct.
problem.
Correct.
So if they don't understand the problem, if they don't understand the society, right, what is the use of the solution that they're providing? So it all begins with identifying the problem. Right? So that is how we here build that system, but it is a very gradual system. It's imbibed from day one through various channels and initiatives,
Right.
and we hope that in the next future entrepreneurship should take wings, and we want to see more entrepreneurs than job seekers, and that is our mission here at BNMIT.